going to talk about how you can learn tense, and by learning tense you can be a English fluent English speaker. So that's why I am making these videos, that you can learn English, you can learn knowledge. And the first thing we have to know that there are three times, which is present, past and future. In three times, if we can make sentences, then we can make all types of sentence. Because if I can make sentence in present, if I can make sentence in past, and if I can make sentences in future, then I can make all type of sentence. So that's why tense is very important in spoken English. So you can see here is past. Past, before now. What the past mean is, past mean before now. Past mean is before now. And the past sentence are four types, and present tense are four types, and future tense are four types. So let's see. Present past, present indefinite. No, this is simple past or present past indefinite. Sorry, past indefinite. This is simple past, or another name which is past indefinite. Next, past continuous, which means continuous, perfect continuous. So let's see what is past simple or past indefinite. You can see simple past, used to indicate an action complete in the past. It often occurs with adverb of time, used to indicate an action, and that action completed in the past. So if you see any action that indicate the past and the action has been completed, then we will make past indefinite or past simple tense. So if I see the example, I played, so I played football when I was a child. Rules to subject plus V2, which means verb past form, verb past form. And assertive sentence, for assertive sentence you can see subject verb object. This is the basic assertive sentence or positive sentence. He wrote. What is the V1? Present form of wrote? Write. Present form of wrote? Write. So here the past form, which is V2. Subject wrote, he she wrote a letter. And negative sentence, subject did not. You have to remember, you have to note it down that did is the auxiliary verb of past sentence, past simple sentence or past indefinite sentence. And so that's why here didn't, did not. If we want to uh, make the sentence negative, then we need to add the no with add the not with the auxiliary verb. So that's why they take did, then not, then v1 object. So let's go in another sentence which is interrogative sentence. Did plus subject, then v1 and object. So we all know that if we want to make any sentence in interrogative, we have to use the auxiliary verb at first, then the subject, then the verb. That is the simple rules you can see in number 3. So you have to follow these rules to make any questions. So did she write a letter, and did you go there, did you come here? And you have to remember also this, if you use did, then you cannot use this sentence, use the verb form change. You cannot change the verb form. And you can see for using did, the verb form is v1. Why? Because did means past. I don't need to make the right verb as like past. So if I make write, write it, read, wrote, then the two thing is past in this sentence, so this sentence will mistakes. Okay, so let's go in the next sentence, which is interrogative sentence. Did subject not be on object. If you can see did, do, does, did in any sentence, then you have to think that the verb form must be in V on or present form. So let's see interrogative. For interrogative we see the did, and for negative we see the not. So did she not write a letter? So let's go into next sentence, which is past continuous tense. You used to donate an action going on at some time in the past. You used to donate an action going on at some time in the past. So I was driving in the past. When I was driving in the past. And you can see was, were plus ing is the rules of this tense. Assertive sentence, subject, then you have to use was, were. What we were using in the present continuous tense, subject am is there. And I told you that one thing, if you see anywhere that continuous means ing, so you can see here ing, so you have to follow this. And the basic rules of this sentence, subject was, were, verb plus ing. Okay, so she was writing a letter, I was doing a class, and I was watching a video, I was sitting there, I was running here, then I was reading book. You can see you were watching my video. Okay, so this is very simple. If you understand one sentence, then you can make thousands of sentences by understanding the rules properly. So negative sentence, subject was, were, you just need to add the not with auxiliary verb, then the sentence automatically being the negative. So you can see he was is the he was not writing a letter. So was is a auxiliary verb here, so I just add the not into was. So this is automatically become the negative sentence by adding not with auxiliary verb. Interrogative sentence, was, were will add the first in the sentence for making interrogative question, because was, were the auxiliary verb here. So was she writing a letter? And then interrogative negative sentence. So for interrogative we will use auxiliary verb at the first, then subject. Then for the negative we will use not in the sentence after subject, then verb ing. So was she not writing a letter? Was she not writing a letter? So let's go ahead and take the another sentence which is very nice in the past. So let's describe this sentence, which is past perfect tense. This is very amazing sentence. You can see used to describe an action completed before a certain moment, before a certain sure moment in the past, usually a long time ago. A long time ago, if two actions happened. So here is a conditions. You can see if two action happened in the past, past perfect is used to show the action that took place earlier. So past perfect is used to show the action that took place, that happened, took place or happened first. In these two sentence, if there is two sentence, then past perfect happened first, then the another, then if the next sentence will be past indefinite. So let's see some example. The patient had died. The patient had, you can see, the patient had died before the doctor come. So this sentence is very common in our society, in our country, in our teaching sector. So the patient had died before the doctor came. So you can see the patient had died. First, who died? Patient. Then doctor come. So doctor is not important here after dying by patient. So you can see this is why the if two actions happened in past, then the incident happened in past. The incident will be the past perfect, and another will be past indefinite. So you can see the doctor came. So doctor came is past indefinite, and the patient had died. This is past perfect. The patient had died. The patient died fast. Then doctor come. So the incident happened fast, and that tense will be past perfect, and the another tense sentence will be past indefinite. So let's see assertive sentence. Assertive sentence. Subject and the auxiliary verb had. Then V3, which is past participle form of verb. Then object. So she had written a letter. I have eaten some food. And this is how you can make sentence. So you see subject and the had is the auxiliary verb, and I told you something before the class, and in my previous class I told you that if you see anywhere past or present or future and perfect or continuous, if you see continuous, then you have to think that the verb form will be ing form. And if you see the uh, perfect, then you have to think that the verb form must be v3, which is past participle form. So here v3 for perfect tense. Every perfect tense we will use past participle form of verb. It is clear. Okay, so my voice is clear. Okay, you can see negative sentence of past perfect. Past perfect, we are seeing that the negative sentence. How we can make negative sentence? Just add the not with auxiliary verb. So here had is a auxiliary verb of this sentence, and I just add the not with this. So she had not written a letter. I had not eaten rice. I had not and done the class. I had not liked it. So this is how you can make sentence. So let's go another sentence which is interrogative. So interrogative, if you know, if you see the previous videos, then you must understand that how we can make interrogative sentence. Interrogative sentence is very easy. You have to add the auxiliary verb of any sentence to make interrogative first. So add the auxiliary verb first and you can make any sentence to interrogative. So you can see what the rules of any sentence: subject, verb, object. So I just take the auxiliary verb in the first, then it automatically being the interrogative sentence. So had she written a letter? For the perfect tense I must use V3. You have to remember this. So then you can see interrogative negative. For interrogative I use had, and for negative after subject I use not. So had for first interrogative, not for negative in this sentence. So I just made it interrogative negative sentence. So this is very amazing, you can make. So the last tense here for today, which is, you can see, past perfect continuous. Past perfect continuous tense, used to denote an action that began before a certain point. Before a certain means sure point in the past, and continued up to some times in past, and that the incident is continuing in the past and then after finished. So let's see the structure. If you don't know English, if you don't understand English, you just write down the structure here, how you can make assertive sentence, how you can make negative sentence. So in this way you just can learn English, and I am talking in English that you can learn, you can improve your spoken English. So that's why I am talking in English. I can also talk in Bangla. So I'm not talking in Bangla because if you really want to learn spoken English, you need to listen speaking English. That's why I'm speaking, and I'm using very basic sentences. That's why you can understand. So please go ahead. Let's go. So in past perfect continuous tense, subject, then we will use had been, then v on plus ing. So let's see, she had been writing a letter. So I just told you, if you anywhere see that this is past perfect continuous tense or present perfect continuous tense or future perfect continuous tense, if you see the perfect and continuous together in any tense, then you have to see there must be a been. I told you in the previous class, so you must have to see that in the sentence you must find the been if the sentence is uh, perfect and continuous together. So she had been writing a letter. You can see she had been writing a letter. Negative, how we can make negative? Just very simple as you see before, which is just add not with the auxiliary verb. With the auxiliary verb. So I just make it negative. She had not been writing a letter. You can see she had not been writing a letter. Then how we can make interrogative, which is questionable? Any sentence we can make questionable by using the auxiliary verb at first, then just it automatically being the question or interrogative sentence. So this is very simple. You can see had plus subject plus been plus verb ing. So had she been writing a letter? Had I been reading a book? So this is how you can make interrogative sentence. So let's go into the next sentence, which is interrogative negative sentence. Interrogative negative sentence. So had plus subject, and after subject we use not. Every time in the previous rules you can see not, then been plus v1 ing. Had not been writing a letter. Had she not been writing a letter? So this is very important. You have to remember, if what is the rules of interrogative, you just have to need to the auxiliary verb at first. Then what is the rules of negative? You just need to add the not with auxiliary verb. As there is rules of interrogative and negative, so that's why auxiliary verb at the first, then subject, then not. And if the sentence is not interrogative, then I can make it very simply negative. She had not been writing a letter. So this is very easy, you know. So we just finished past tense. Let's summarize it again. Okay, past tense. Okay, let's see, and we will read this again in a short. What is past simple or past indefinite? Used to indicate an action complete in the past. An action, you know, an action means any work that complete in the past. It often occurs with adverbs of time, and in the past that action happened, and at the time you can see some time, they mention some time. Sometimes it is used without an adverb of time, and sometimes you cannot see any adverb. So this is very simple past. And the if you want to make any sentence past, you just make the verb past form, means v2. And if you make any sentence present indefinite or present simple, make the verb present form, which is v1. So in this way you can make any sentence present or past. This is very simple. So what is the rules? Subject and v2. So you can see assertive rules. She wrote a letter. Negative, she didn't write a letter. For using didn't, here I use write. Why write? Because if I use did, does, do, these three words, if I use any sentence, then the verb form must be present form, which is v1. So it is very clear why here I use before, because did means past. I don't need to mention another time in the sentence that written or anything, because did mean past. I can understand. If I say she doesn't write a letter, so does and do means present indefinite, and did here is did, so this is why this sentence is past indefinite. Okay, so interrogative, did she write a letter, did she write a letter. And interrogative negative, did she not write a letter, did she not write a letter. Okay, so this is past continuous. So you can see was were the auxiliary verb of this sentence, which is past continuous. And if you see anywhere continuous, then it must be ing. Continuous means ing. So you here you can see verb ing. So assertive sentence, she was writing a letter. Assertive, and this is also positive. And negative, she was not, just add a not with auxiliary verb writing letter. And interrogative, just add the auxiliary verb first, then subject, then extra part. So was she writing a letter? Okay, so interrogative negative, was she not writing a letter, was she not writing a letter. And next see the, okay, this is I'm reading these lines again because this is very important. So and this line is very important in our society. Everywhere you can see this line, the patient had died before the doctor came. Okay, so used to describe an action which is completed before, okay, which is completed before a certain moment in the past, and a certain which is sure, insure moment in the past, usually a long time ago. And it is a long time ago, the moment or the action is long time ago. If two action, if there is two action, not one action, there is two sentence, you can understand sentence. Okay, there is two sentence happened in the past. So past perfect is used to show the action that happened earlier, that happened fast. So past perfect used the incident, the action, the sentence which happened fast or earlier. Okay, so you can see the rules, and you have to just note down this structure, then you can make any sentence whatever you want to make. You can see she had written a letter. Negative, she had not written a letter, just add with not, just add not with auxiliary verb. So next, interrogative, how we can make interrogative? This is very simple. Interrogative, had she written a letter, just add the auxiliary verb first. And what is the interrogative sentence? Interrogative negative, just add. For interrogative I am using had first, for negative I am using not. This is very simple. If anyone says you that make interrogative, just add the auxiliary first. If anyone says you that make a negative, just add the not with auxiliary verb in that sentence. So the sentence will automatically being negative. So this is very simple. And you can see past perfect continuous tense. So used to donate an action that began before a certain point in the past and continued up to some times in the past. Okay, so the sentence, the action, this was continued in the past for some times. Okay, so in this way we have to make past perfect continuous. And if we see perfect and continuous tense together, then we have to understand there must be a bin, must be a bin. If the sentence is present in the present perfect continuous, or past perfect continuous, or future perfect continuous, you can find a bin everywhere. Okay, so assertive sentence, she had been writing a letter, and she had not, for not, for negative, and with auxiliary verb. Okay, so she had not been writing letter. Auxiliary verb indicate the sentence, indicate the tense. Suppose I am using, this is the sentence, I am speaking, this is the sentence. And if I say just change the am, I was speaking, this is the sentence who is indicate the past continuous. And if I say I am speaking, this is the sentence which indicate the present continuous. So you understand how the auxiliary verb works in a sentence. So this is very easy, very simple. in any sentence. For an auxiliary verb is very important for identify the moment it is present or past and or it is future. If you change the just auxiliary verb, not the verb form, you can make the sentence past, you can make the sentence future, you can make the sentence present. Okay, so she had not been given a letter, okay, given a gift, what we can say, anything we can make. And if you just change the verb form, like she had not been given writing, she had not eating, she had not going, she had not been running, she had not been reading, she had not been watching. So you can make just change the verb form, just change the verb, and you can make thousands of sentence by this way. Okay, and interrogative we just use the auxiliary verb at first, just had she been writing a letter. Okay, and then interrogative negative sentence, which is had she not been writing a letter. Okay, so in tomorrow we will talk about how you can learn future tense. And future tense is very important for our life. If we do not read or do not understand future tense, then our future is in darkness. So that's why we have to learn future tense. And I am speaking slowly that you can understand and you can listen to me carefully and you can improve your listening. You know, there is no child who born with dictionary, who born with knowledge. But you can see we listen from our fathers in our childhood, from our mother and from other neighbor and from others people. We just listen, we just copying the rhythm, we just copying the tone, then day by day we just improve, we become a fluent native speaker. How did you learn Bangla? Because you know, you hear, you listen this properly. So friends, in this way you can just learn English. And if you really want to speak English, then you have to doing this class in English tense, in English voice. If you see the class in Bangla, then you cannot speak English because by doing this class your speaking English is improving. So you have to do this class and you can see the tense, past, present and future, and every tense has been divided into four parts. So simple and continuous, which is and perfect continuous. And if I say that in every continuous you can see the verb ing, and every perfect you can see the past participle form of verb. This is the common everywhere. And every perfect continuous sentence you can see been is a common. So you can notice it and you can write it on your paper. So in tomorrow we will start how we can learn future tense. And you can see my previous video and I posted and I teach you how you can learn present tense. So thank you, and no more today, we will talk about in the next class.